So there was this incident where the police, and the reason that the word police is in air quotes, let's just say that they're worse than the police in the US. Okay, now that I think back to it, I'm not exactly sure if they're worse, because these ones are really killing like black people, and that's not cool. That's really bad. But those ones are money hungry. They're super greedy, and they will do anything for money. You just tip them or you just give them some money, and they will literally kill a person for you. Money literally talks back home. I really hope that someday that changes though. The police, once again, we're gonna keep them in air quotes. Remember that, guys. They would actually just literally break into people's houses, and they would ask for citizenship to live in Kenya, in Nairobi, the city where I'm from. And if you didn't have any kind of citizenship, they would just take you to jail for no apparent reason, like you didn't do shit. I guess it's kind of the same here, but I don't think they should be doing that there, because that's not, like, come on now. That is a third world country. You're really gonna take people to jail? But the thing is that, like, if you paid them off, they wouldn't take you to jail. So how's that fair? Either you follow the damn rules and the law, or you don't. And that's on period. On 100% of the people that would only survive this attack or this incident would be Kenyans, people who have passports. I was not born in Kenya. I was born in Somalia. I was brought to Kenya when I was very, very little, like months old. So I might have as well been born in Kenya, but that doesn't matter. At the time, I was a US citizen and I had my passport with me. Unless you were Kenyan and you knew the rules and you knew what police were capable of, they wouldn't take you to jail. They would just take away your passport. You wouldn't have any way to get out of the country. So basically, you're stuck there. And they did that because they basically did not want anyone else with other passports. They especially hated like US citizens and Canadians. And since my auntie and her kids didn't have any kind of passports, we decided to move to the suburbs. And the reason that we were moving to this area was because the police were definitely nicer, less money hungry, less greedy. I think it was because rich folks were taking care of them. I'm pretty sure that was the reason. All of that was happening very, very quickly and urgently, and my auntie was not financially ready for the hardships, I guess, and the moving and all of that, because obviously the suburbs cost a lot more, and she was barely making ends meet where we lived. And like, she wasn't ready to afford that lifestyle. We all couldn't, because we didn't work. And this part of the story might not make sense because I jumped around a little bit. I wanted to go in order, but I didn't. But anyway, this part of the story is when I first met my best friend. See, now I'm going backwards. This is actually how I met my best friend after moving in together with them. She was obviously at my wedding, but you know, like, we weren't that close. We barely even talked to each other. I mean, she was dancing and stuff. And my auntie and my best friend's mom knew each other. That's how we ended up going to that place. She lived in a bigger house with only 3 kids. So my best friend at the time, you know, prior to me meeting her, she was at a boarding school and the 2 younger siblings were at home. So it was only the 2 kids and the mom. We moved in, so my auntie, me, my husband, and the 5 other siblings. So the house was pretty crowded. They had a maid that also cooked for them, which was a bit different than what I was used to. We would be cooking and we would only have a maid that would clean for us, which is still a big step than here in the US. And she was basically like related to them. She would stay. I don't even think she would go out and visit her family in the holidays. She was like a full-time maid. So anyway, my best friend finally comes out of the boarding school weeks after we were there, and at first me and her did not get along at all, because I could have sworn that I've seen her checking my husband out a few times. I mean, his younger brother, Mr. Asshole, was available, but no, this girl wanted to check my husband out, and he wasn't helping either. I mean, he obviously was not loyal. She was not my best friend at the time, so she didn't have no obligation to be loyal to me, but I just feel like that is human decency to not check out someone else's husband or someone who's taken. I mean, I don't know why people find that such a turn on. I've met a lot of girls find that a turn on. I don't. That is just the biggest turn off. Like, he's taking, what do you want from him, you know? But I still blame the bitch. And I should not have called her a bitch yet, because you guys probably have an idea what's gonna happen in the future now. I kind of give it away. Darn it. But anyway, we actually started connecting, me and her, after that issue got resolved. Because she was like,
actually, I wasn't checking him out. I was checking his brother out, the single one. I don't even find him cute. Nah.
Yeah, she was like, I'm only interested in Mr. Asshole. She didn't really say that, but you guys know what I'm saying. And at the time, I was just like focused on myself, and I was kind of stressed about the whole situation of the police and stuff because I'm a very stressful person. I get stressed super, super quick. So I didn't really look into it that much. And I ended up dropping the whole thing because I didn't have no proof, you can say. And I was a pretty jealous person, like, you know, in my early teens. But like later on, I never used to worry about guys. My whole motto is like, if he's gonna cheat on me with you, what do you think is gonna happen to you? Or something like that. I forgot my own motto. So at this point, your girl is about to come back to the USA. Yeah, I was so freaking happy. And I'm sitting here thinking that, you know, this guy is finally gonna get his shit together and start treating me okay. But I was failing to realize that guys like him never change, or people like him in general never change. But anyway, I was very hopeful when I was younger. And the reason that I was thinking that he'd treat me better was because I was gonna be traveling across the world from the country that he was in, and I'd be like thousands of miles away, and God knew when I'd be back home to visit him, you know. So I'm thinking that I'm leaving soon and he's gonna be like all over me, and he's gonna give me a lot of attention, and he's gonna respect me, and he's gonna try to do all the things that he never did. Guess what? Wrong. Never happened. He was actually becoming a lot more distant. When I say this guy couldn't even stop getting worse for 1 second, like, well, I have 2 more incidents to share with you guys. The first one was my farewell incident. So basically it was Eid. Hey, Eid is coming up in like 25 days now, or 26 days. But anyway, Eid is one of the 2 holidays that Muslims celebrate each year. So each year there are 2 Eids. Just in case you're watching this and you have no idea what Eid is, otherwise you know what it is. A lot of people do, even if they're not Muslims. So your girl has been looking forward to Eid, right? I mean, ever since we were very young, Eid meant a lot to us. Just like, you know, Christmas means a lot to many people. You know, we just looked forward to it. Especially it was like one of the only times where you could get away from many things, you can say. And I was super excited for it, especially the fact that that was gonna be my last Eid with him. So a few days before Eid, this guy convinces me and the whole family, mostly me because I was the one who was really excited about the first day going out, not to go out on the first day because it's very crowded, the malls and stuff like that. And the reason that I say the first day was because we normally celebrate 3 consecutive days for each Eid, so it's like 6 total. So he tells me that it's crowded everywhere and that we shouldn't go out, and it takes him days. I was very adamant on going out on that first day. I didn't want to go on the second or third day. I mean, I still wanted to go, but like it was really important for me to go on the first day. Are the malls crowded? Hell yeah, they are. I mean, it's Eid. What do you expect? And you have a very huge population in a smaller area. It's even crowded at the Mall of America on Eid here. But guess what, guys? That's part of the whole fun of Eid for me personally, especially at that time. Like, I just get a lot of enjoyment from seeing other people dress up and, you know, celebrating the whole, like, the same thing, like relating to other people. Like, what is the whole point of going on the second day and not seeing as many people, or the third day and barely seeing anyone because everyone went out on the first day? I just wanted to see the mall be lit with like kids laughing, screaming, and just being happy and dressed with new clothing. Kids get like new clothes every year, even though I was not a kid anymore. I just wanted to see the kids being happy, and that would bring me joy. But no, he wouldn't let me even have that. So anyway, we argued, and yet again, guess who won? That's right. Finally, Eid day comes around, and I saw everyone just, you know, going out to the malls, because if you look out the window, the buildings are so close to each other, and everyone has a taxi coming, or they're taking the bus or whatever, and our family is the only one that's sitting at home. I was very upset, I'm not gonna lie, but I've decided to go against being sad, or try to at least. So I took a shower and I put on makeup. I got one of my new batis. You guys know what I mean by now, right? And I wore, it was like a very cute design one. It was not just very loosely fitted. It had like a little shape to it. It was like one arm off, but it was a little cute dress, you know? It was cute. So I wore that. It was so cute. Oh my goodness. I felt very nice. But at the same time, I felt really bad inside, because I didn't know, like, why would he do this to me, you know? Like, why would he take the one thing that I have away from me? When we were chilling at home, I don't remember if his siblings were dressed up too. I definitely was dressed up, sitting at home like a duck. I'm just chilling, minding my own business, right? 9 p.m. rolls around and I receive a picture from his best friend. To this day, I still don't know if this act was intentional or his friend did not just see anything wrong with the picture, but he sent it to me anyway. So let me just describe the picture for you guys. It was the best friend, my ex, and a girl, and the girl was in between them, mostly leaning towards my ex, and she had both of her arms around his neck like this. Yeah, process that for a minute. Not only was I really pissed about him telling me over and over that we weren't supposed to go out on the first date and he went out anyway, but I was super pissed about the fact that that picture was sent to me and what was happening in it. Like, this guy thought he could do me dirty like that. And he did. He was definitely pushing his luck with the whole manipulation game that he was playing. My tan ass once again turned pink and your girl was ready to fight. Like, in that one night, I realized that I lost as much respect for him as I did the whole year, like the whole time we were married, because that really hurt me to my core. So I couldn't wait for him to get home. It felt like the time was going very, very slow, like tick, tick, tick. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and text him, and rightfully so. I texted him and I guess he didn't want to argue about his side piece, so he texted me back and said something like, I'll be home shortly, let's talk about this then. The time started moving a little faster right when he said I'll be home shortly. I was barely able to contain myself, but lucky for me, he showed up in less than an hour. He probably knew that his best friend sent me that picture and he probably had to have a talk with him. Normally I wouldn't try to have an argument with him around his family, except that one time, but this was actually a time that I didn't care. I was just basically proving that he could be a bad guy too, and I should not be the only one that is being called a bitch. The whole family saw the picture and I could literally feel them pitying me. It was like a physical thing. So at this point I was still trying to contain myself, and right when he walked in the door I was just like and held up the phone to his face with the picture on it, and I was like, what the hell is this? And this guy plays so hard to play it cool and not make a big deal out of it. So he tried to treat me like a little kid, but bad for him, it didn't work to his advantage. So the simple answer that this guy gave me was,
oh, that chick? That's my best friend's girlfriend.
Okay, first of all, I don't think the best friend had a girlfriend at the time that I knew of. Otherwise, my ex would have told me about it because he always talked about that best friend. But anyway, I moved on from it. Instead of asking him that question and saying, oh, how come you never told me about this girlfriend? I just said, well, is there a reason that she's leaning towards you more when her boyfriend is there and has her arms around your neck? So his answer was,
she's goofy and playful, and we just have that kind of relationship between us.
At that point, I am about to burst in flames, pretty much. So instead of making myself angrier, I just stopped the conversation there because I knew that he was too prideful to answer any questions truthfully. Not to mention that everyone was literally staring at us and expecting a physical fight between us. At least from their expression. So I pretty much just turned to his mom and just asked her if one of his siblings could share the bed with him that we shared, and I could sleep in their room, which was not the most exciting thing. She didn't even try to talk me out of it. She was just like, of course, yeah, why not? So anyway, I basically started giving him the silent treatment. I was ignoring him. I would ignore whenever he said something or asked me something. I guess that's definitely kind of childish, but I feel like he deserved that because he wasn't ready to man up, and I wasn't ready to make myself angrier because that's where that was going. I actually slept in the other room with his siblings and his mom for a few days, almost like a week I think, and that was also meant to punish him, I guess. And he did manage to fool me and act all sad, but I knew at night he did enjoy so much when he had unlimited time with his brothers playing video games. That was like a dream come true for him, and starting from that day on I knew that something had to happen. Something had to change. This whole time I felt very obligated to him for numerous reasons. One was because he was my husband, and the second reason was because of all the things that his mom did for us, I couldn't lose myself anymore just because I had hope that he would change someday. And like I said earlier, guys like him don't change, especially knowing that this was a forced marriage to begin with. I wasn't about to lose myself any more than I did already. So I finally started thinking about my well-being. So first, I stopped being manipulated by him. I stopped following his manipulation techniques, you can say. And secondly, that's when I started talking to his mom about trying to get back to the US so I can start his visa process. I pretty much told her that, the sooner I got back, the better. And she totally agreed because, I was not doing anything back home besides cooking and cleaning, which she liked. But at the same time, she wanted me to start the process quick. And the reason that visa process is in air quotes is because I was very hesitant about bringing him to the US in the first place. Why would I fight hard for someone that was treating me so shitty back home and try to bring him here? Like, that doesn't make any sense, So one day I was basically laying down in bed and thinking and trying to process everything that has happened the past 1 year and a half, I guess. Going from being in the US, putting all of my effort into studying so I can get into good college, and definitely not wanting to get married, or marriage never even crossed my mind, to being forced to not only go back home but to also get married, pretty much. Even though that person was someone that my parents did not approve of or want, but that is a very complicated story which I am gonna cover in the near future. To me, marrying a guy that was my cousin, who, by the way, I was not even ready to marry in the first place, and still trying to make that marriage work, I'm putting way more effort than he did ever. So I just laid there thinking, like, am I that selfish though? Like, at this point, I just feel like I'm just protecting myself. So after I processed all of that and felt a little better about myself, I guess, because I'm a person that feels guilty easily, and I just feel bad about small things. And that sucks sometimes because people tend to take advantage of me because of that. So at first I was just talking to his mom about coming back here, but then I eventually started bugging her more and more, almost like every day or twice a day, about coming back here. She obviously did not have any spare money at the time, but I knew she could talk to her sister, aka my auntie also, who was here in the United States in St. Paul, Minnesota. And I knew that her sister would listen because that was the younger sister, and they all looked up to her, I guess. So I managed to convince her, and she managed to convince her sister to get me back here. So about a month later, my other aunt, the one that was here in the US, got a one-way ticket for me to come to St. Paul, Minnesota to live with her. When I succeeded in that process, like, I was super happy. I can't tell you how excited I was. I felt like I was stuck back home in what felt like forever. So I had about 7 weeks left, and every time that he treated me shitty, I would be like chill and calm, and I would not care because I knew that I would be leaving his ass in 7 weeks. I mean, that's not a long time compared to like permanently. I did not have no complaint. I honestly don't remember any big events or big fights that happened between us before I came back to the US. The only thing that I remember is me still having that little tiny hope in my heart that he would change or treat me better for the next few weeks before, I left him. But what do you know? Nope, he wouldn't. I don't even know why I expected him to treat me even better. I mean, I keep saying that, I was going to go away from him and all of that. But as someone who tends to miss people a lot, I mean, first of all, I wouldn't even treat them shitty in the first place. But secondly, if someone was leaving me, I'd just be like really sad and just be like, oh my God, this is my last time with them. I mean, I know they're not dying or whatever, but like, if they go away from you and they're like across the world from you, pretty much, I feel like they deserve some good memories before they leave. I mean, is it just me, or you guys would do the same thing? I mean, I'm not saying that you have to treat someone shitty just for you to treat them better before they leave, but like, wouldn't you spoil the shit out of them before they leave so they have good memories to look back to? What do you guys think? And this guy was not even scared for me to leave. I don't know for what reason that was. Like, all the things that he's been doing the whole year and a half or the whole year, I don't think it ever crossed his mind that I was ever gonna leave him, even if I was very far away from him. But I guess he just had some strong ass faith in his manipulation skills. So by then I was stuck in Nairobi for like a year and a half. I keep mentioning in the story. I feel like you guys are tired of it by now. So your girl finally comes back to the US on March 2014. And before I continue, you already know that I'm going to be stopping right here so we can save the third part of this story for another video because this video is getting very long. But you guys just keep in mind that the juiciest part of it all is yet to come. So definitely stay tuned for that. And if you haven't watched part 1 to the story time, once again, I'll link it above and in the description box below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. But guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up if you do enjoy videos like this, because I have a lot more coming in the future, and I have a lot of great story times coming for you guys. But I just want to take a moment and say thank you so much, guys, for watching these videos. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys so much, and have a great night and stay safe out there or inside. Bye.